Hello and welcome to MACA 1320 B1201 2014 Fall Intro to Photoshop. My name is Sean Sarcona. I'm your instructor for this class. This is my LinkedIn page. That's what I look like. So if you ever see me actually on campus, you'll recognize me. What was that? This video here is just to kind of guide you into the setup process. I've taken many online classes, and one of the most nerve-wracking things is that first couple weeks where you're just kind of getting your bearings and trying to figure out what the instructor wants and how the course is laid out. So I created this, or I'm creating this little video just so it kind of alleviates some of the issues you might have. Okay, so this is our Angel page, and this is what you're going to be logging into on a week-by-week, several times a week basis in order to get your stuff. There's a little welcome item right here. I'll have the course syllabus right there. Grades will be posted here. If you've never used Angel before, this grades thing always has to be refreshed, because if you don't refresh it, it keeps whatever the last time was that you did refresh it. So sometimes, like halfway through the semester, you see that you have 0 points for everything and you start freaking out. All you have to do is hit that refresh, and there you go. Okay, there's some other information here. Our discussion forums are over there, which we'll get to. Here's some course mail. But let's start at the course syllabus. Okay, so you can click that. It'll download the course syllabus. I'm just going to open it here. And we're going to walk through this just so you get an understanding of what this is. So like I said, there's my name, Sean Sarcona. My office... My office is at South Campus, our building 135-1. It's actually inside of a classroom. So typically if you need to get into my office and see me, that's where it's at. Here's my phone number. These things, yeah, they're wonderful. Here's my office number and location, but typically you're not going to find me in my office. Okay. Here's one way to find me is on Skype. There's my Skype username. And I try to have my Skype on very often, so even more than I'm in my office, I have my Skype. So if you have a question, 1 a.m. on a Friday night, sometimes I'm available. You can just Skype me. Here are my actual office hours. So this is when I'm in my office on a scheduled basis, 12:30 to 2 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, right here. And then for my Skyping outside of my office hours, I will always be on Skype Tuesdays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Okay, you could also email me or get me through Angel or Skype. Okay, and here's a little thing, how to send emails. Here's Angel technical support information. You can read through that. Our class begins Monday 8/25. This should say 2014, and it will on your final sheet. I'm realizing now that I have a couple typos there. So that'll be, there we go, 2014, perfect. First day of class is that Monday. Every class is going to begin on Monday at 12 a.m. and close the following Sunday at 11:55 p.m. Basically, Monday morning it opens, Sunday night it closes. The last day of our class is Saturday, November 15th. Okay, this is a condensed course, 12 weeks long. So we have a lot to do in that time. So just make sure we're keeping on schedule with stuff. There's no prerequisite to this class. A lot of you are coming from possibly from industry, from high school, from whatever. Lots of different things. This is an important thing. My view on education. You should read over this and get a sense of how I feel about your education and your thought process behind it. Because it really kind of emphasizes where I think your mind should be during the class. Okay. Course supplies. There is a book. This is the book that we have recommended for the class. This Adobe Digital Classroom from Wiley Publishing. And if I go here, there we go. This is the book there, Digital Classroom. It's CS6. A lot of the same concepts will apply. It's a reference. Okay, so if I'm talking about clone stamp and you're just not getting every single thing I'm saying, the book is a good way to kind of pop in there and take a look at it and see what other tools are out there. You might want to just go to Amazon and find some other Photoshop book that might be a better reference. Okay, or a better reference for you. Everyone's kind of different. Here's the CC Classroom book. We have used these before, but they're more of tutorial, and not really, here is how this specific tool works. So they're good. I just don't care for them too much. There's another one, Classroom in a Book. Oh, this is the 2014. Photoshop Missing Manual. Those are good. You may even find something like you're going into photography, so you want to have a photographer's book. That might help. The Kindle edition's right there, $13, not bad. Oh, to rent. That's where they get you, the small print. All right, so that's the recommended book. I would recommend you have at least some book. It's great to be able to just take it with you when you go to the doctor, the dentist, and sit there and read. Or if you're married and your wife likes to shop a lot, you can just read your book while she's shopping. You'll need at least 30 gigs of hard drive space. Now this is the bare minimum. This is if you're making sure you're managing all of your files and assets correctly. You may need more if you just kind of throw everything into one folder every single time. The software you're going to need is Photoshop CS6 or CC. Either one would work. I know some people still have CS6. Most of our lectures in the class are done in CS6, but they also work in CC. Okay, I've run this class several semesters so far, and I've never had any issue going between these. And if there is an issue, it's typically you just go to Google, type in where is this tool in CC or where is this tool in CS6, and then it'll show you where it is. You can get the software through Adobe's website, and there's several plans. Now, because of the way that the online class is priced, you save about $100 on the class. So that $100 can go into your software, which is kind of the idea. They have these different plans. Here's the individual plans. If you only want to do like 1 month, you could do the photography. Oops, there it is. The single app for Photoshop only. Monthly plan of $29.99, so it's like $30 per month. And you do 3 months, and that's the class. Okay. If we look at our calendar here, we start at the 25th. And then we go, that 25th is 1, that 25th is 2, and then that 25th is 3, we're done. Okay? So spending $100 on the single app here will get you what you need. Okay? These other plans, this one is a monthly plan for $75 if you want everything. But if you do the annual plan, paid monthly is $50 here. If you want just photography, it's this. Here's the complete, $30 per month, all right, for CS customers. If you go to students, here's a good deal. If you go to the photography prepaid and you spend $100 for the year, you not only get, where are we at? There we go. You not only get Photoshop, but you also get Lightroom. And Lightroom is a crazy awesome tool for editing photos and organizing them and doing a whole bunch of other stuff. So if you plan on getting this here, Photoshop for $29, and you spend it for 3 months, well, guess what? Just spend $100 on this one, and then you'll get 2 apps for an entire year instead of this one, which is 3 months for just 1 app. Okay. Also, you can download a trial, a 30-day trial. So before you even sign up for any of these things, download the 30-day trial, because that way it'll save you at least the heartache of you paid for the software and you drop the class or something, if that happens. Hopefully not. So you will need the software. Download the trial first. Make sure you like the class. Make sure you're getting out of it what you think you want. And then once we get closer to that, that 30-month trial is up, then you can buy one of these plans here. Okay. But just kind of plan for that if you plan on staying in the class. The Dropbox account. Most of your assignments are going to be bigger than what Angel allows you to turn in, so you have to go to Dropbox. So if I go and click on this link, I'm going to allow that. I'm going here. You can just sign up for a Dropbox account right here. And then that will allow you to share stuff with them. No. Alright, so here is my account, my folders. What you're going to do once you have your Dropbox is you're going to create a folder. There you go. Right click on file and go to new folder. And I can call this 1320 Sarcona. Okay, 1320 is the course number, Sarcona is my name. You don't put Sarcona, you put your name. That way I know whose it is. And then we can right click and say invite to folder. And then what this is going to do is you're going to type in my name, sarconas@macomb.edu. Here is my Dropbox folder. And then we hit share. And what this will do is it allows me to have access. Yes, I know I'm already a member. It'll allow me to have access to this folder. So when you come in here and you say, okay, well here is an assignment, I'm just going to drop my assignment into this. And it starts uploading that file. Well, now I can see that file. Okay, so it's a very easy way to kind of take our stuff back and forth, or turn stuff in this case. And I can right click and just delete it if I need to. Okay, now if there is an issue and I can't see your files, we'll work through that, but typically that's all we need to do. Okay, so sign up for Dropbox, share the link, send it to my email, which is through Angel. You can send it to there, or sarconas@macomb.edu. Course description. This is an introduction to Photoshop. So we're going to be using a lot of tools in here in a very broad sense. It's going to get your feet kind of wet with different ways that we can use Photoshop, different tools and techniques, and different processes, different avenues that Photoshop is used for. You can read these course outcomes. Instructional methods, we're going to be using YouTube videos, online tutorials, PDFs, videos, class discussion. For attendance, it's really your work. You turn in your work on time, and your attendance is good. Okay. There's discussion forums in here we'll get to. There's no teamwork. If you need to communicate with me, the best way to do that is through Angel, or through Skype, or through my own email. But realistically, as long as you post it to Angel, I'll get the email and then we can respond to you. Academic honesty. It's really important that you be honest with yourself when you're doing your assignments. If you have a tutor or a friend complete a portion of the assignment, you're not learning. Okay? If you have a reviewer make extensive revisions, you're not doing the work. If you're copying someone else's work, or if you're turning in assignments that are similar to another assignment in the course, or doing, I think if you're not doing the work yourself, that's cheating, right? And you're not going to be learning anything if you do that kind of stuff, and it's just going to hurt you in the long run. Photoshop is the foundation. If you don't have a good foundation, then you're just going to fall apart once you start building yourself up. So your best bet in this is to just be honest, do the work yourself, and try to learn as much as you can every step of the way. Okay. ADA compliant. We make every effort to be ADA compliant. Here's some information. I don't share your information with anyone else, basically, what that says. The duration of the class is 12 weeks long. Okay, so every single week there's a folder, and then in each folder we'll have more information. I'll show you that. Here's the grading policy. Pay attention to this. 80 points, 10 points, and 10 points. There's your grade. Okay, if you don't turn in an assignment and the assignment's worth 10 points, then the highest you're going to get in the class is a 90. Okay, 10 plus 10 plus 80. So you need to make sure that you're staying on top of these. These are not percentages. These are actual points towards your final grade. Okay, so if we come down here to our assignment, here's our web page button assignment, worth 4 points. You don't turn it in, you don't get those 4 points. And that's 4 points less on your final grade. Photography, here's 6 points. Okay, so all these assignments that we have may not seem like a lot, but they're actually worth a lot of points in that end thing. Okay. You'll see all the assignments here are in the dark black. Okay, and then all the supporting features of it are in the lighter color. Okay, here's some skill builders, discussion board. Okay, there is a mid-semester survey and an end-of-semester survey. You get an extra bonus point for each one of those you complete. Those will be listed when you get there. If you turn in an assignment late, then you lose 1 point per day. Okay, so if it's due on Sunday and you turn it in Monday, you lost a point. And some of these, like this one that's only worth 3 points, well, guess how many days you could, you turn it in 2 days late and you've lost 2/3 of that grade. You turn in this one 1 day late, you get 0 points. Okay, so you gotta be really careful with those due dates. Here's the grading scale, 198, 97, 93, and so on. Okay, so if you have a 90 in the class, you might think that's an A-. Well, it's not. It's a B+, right there. There's the late submission, guidelines for successful learning. Read those. Make sure you're understand them all. Be active, engaged learner, completes their assignments on time. I'm not expecting anyone here to be an expert. We're all in this together, working and learning from one another. It's important that you understand that it's going to take time to understand these processes, to understand the tools, to understand every single step we're doing. Okay, but it's very important that you just take the time to do that. If you wait until Sunday night to start an assignment and you don't get it done and you start freaking out, well, that's your fault. Okay, all you can do is prepare yourself. You got to start doing it early in the week and work through it throughout the week. Practice good etiquette. There's some rules right there. I'm not reading all of these to you because I'm assuming that most of you can read. I just don't want to take up too much of your time doing that. This is one here that's important. Learning takes place in real life. I, like you, face many challenges every day, and I'm advancing as fast as I can. Given the interdependence of learning in an online course, you're required to submit all assignments when they are due. Posting after a topic has been covered hinders the class and impacts everyone's learning. To be fair to the class, you will receive a reduction for your grade. Okay? You do what you can. You schedule things. I used to have students that would, just as an example on my calendar here, let's say an assignment is due on the 24th. Okay? So what we do is your assignment starts on the 18th. So they would work on them the 18th, the 19th, the 20th, the 21st, a little bit each day, and then they would turn it in. Then I had other students that would start on the 23rd, and then the 24th would come and they realized they wouldn't get it done, and then the 27th they would turn it in late. It hurts you to do that, okay? Because now you're starting to push every single week back and back and back. The good thing about an online class is you can really work whenever you want, as long as you get those due dates handled. So make sure you're kind of keeping your schedule under wraps and doing a good job of that. There's another one. You have to kind of plan for unanticipated technology-related problems. What happens if Sunday you start the assignment, Sunday your computer crashes? What are you going to do to get that assignment done? Okay, that's why it's always good to get it done early in the week. We do have labs you can come into and work on. If you need to come in and work in our labs, you can do that. They're just at South Campus in our building, 129 or so. I'll post, once we get the actual lab times, I'll post the lab times so you guys can check those out too. And we have lab aides there that are there to help you as well. Okay, your education online and on grounds has to be controlled by you. You're the only one who can make yourself do this work. I'm not going to hold your hand and make sure you're turning in your assignments on time. That's your job. As a college student, that's your responsibility to make sure you're taking that initiative. Okay, if you have questions, I can't read your mind. Speak freely. Ensure you get done what you get done, or understand what is needed. Don't wait until the last minute to ask about an assignment when it's due soon. And there's an example. What you can expect of me. Discussion forums. I have a discussion forum, questions and clarification. Okay, this is a great spot for if you do have a question and you're not sure if I'm going to check my email, post it inside here. And sometimes someone in the class will get back to you even before I will. I can't be on 24 hours a day. Sometimes someone else is on and they might see that question and answer it to your satisfaction. If you have any trouble at all, make sure you contact me as soon as possible. I want you to be able to kind of troubleshoot problems and work through some stuff, but I don't want you to think that you're in this fully alone. If you're having trouble with a tool, I've sat with people and talked them through a specific tool, and then once they understood that tool, everything else became easy. Okay, so just make sure you're contacting me with a problem when you see it, when you realize that you're not going down the right path. Okay. Here's a weekly outline. Okay, this is important to understand all of this stuff here. Week 1, here's all the stuff that's expected. These assignments right here are assignments and when they're due. So you'll see this one's due Sunday, this one's due Sunday, this one's due Wednesday. Okay, and so on. Goes all the way down here to week 12. Now this 12 weeks, it's going to fly up and hit you in the face. You really got to make sure you stay on top of this, because these assignments, you know, even though they might seem easy, or the concepts seem easy, they can take some time, especially some like this organic drawing one. That might take you a bit of time to do that one. Okay, that's why this one spans over 2 weeks. Here's the hard surface drawing one. That's going to take some time too, especially when we get to the movie poster and our cartoon character and all that. Okay, so just keep on top of things. You got to be responsible for your work there. All right. So let's go back to Angel here and just do a little bit more navigating. Here's the calendar, and here is week 1 opens, introductory discussion forum. You know, so you can see like what stuff is due. Every single thing is not listed here. I'd have like basically like the big items are listed on here when the week opens, and some of the other assignments that are due. We do have some skill builders listed right here. Skill builders 1 through 10. Those are not listed on here, okay? Because those are just, you know, little things. They're worth a point each. I just didn't want to crowd this up too much, so it was hard to read all the other stuff, okay? But those are due on a weekly basis also, and we'll see those. So under the Lessons tab, here's that questions and clarification board. So if you have a question, do a post, ask the question. You know, someone, me, one of the classmates will get back to you. Generic, this is just a post. Here's some hotkeys for Photoshop, hotkeys for Windows and Mac. How to check your grade in Angel, how to set up your Dropbox and upload it to Angel. Make sure you watch that too. Okay, there's actually, in some of these, you'll see that it's a zip file. So if I download this, okay, and I go to my downloads area, here's the zip. Okay, and if I just double click it, it opens up in a zip program. Now on a Mac, it might be a little bit different. I think you have to right click and extract it. But on a PC, on my PC, I can actually just double click and open it up. And then on a lot of these, you'll see that there's an MP4. That's the one you'd want to open. So if I just double click that, it automatically extracts it and starts playing the video for me of how to do that assignment. Okay, and I use VLC. This is one of my players that I love to use. And it's great for doing this. It's just a wonderful tool, especially because I can go to video. I use the hotkey, playback, there we go, speed, and I can slow it down. So if I realize that, hey, you know, this instructor's crazy, he's talking too fast, I can slow this down and really get, see the stuff a bit slower, okay? Because it's a video, don't be afraid, you can rewind it too. Okay, so here is, you know, setting up that Dropbox and doing Angel, turning your stuff in. So make sure you watch that video. There we go. Angel checking your grades, that's an important one too if you get stuck. Here's some resources: CG Textures, DeviantArt, and You Suck at Photoshop. I'm just going to pop this You Suck at Photoshop up. And these are just basically tutorials. This is just, it's actually either Dane Cook or another comedian that does these Photoshop tutorials. And they're pretty funny. And it gives you just basically like a little tip, a little trick to do inside Photoshop. And it's pretty neat. DeviantArt is for source images. There's some Photoshop work done here, and eventually, let's click that. Eventually we'll be using this to kind of grab, always something inappropriate, grab some source material to create some stuff. CG Textures is again source material. Lots of textures, lots of reference. See these pictures of animals. Okay, there's lots of stuff there. As you're going, it's a handy thing just to kind of write down hotkeys as we do them, because when I record a video, I don't say every single hotkey I'm using every single time. Here's the hotkeys here. As you're going, start just getting used to writing them down and having that list handy, because you'll find you have your own list of hotkeys you're using. Okay, so here's week 1. Lots of stuff in week 1. You'll see that as we go and we get down here to, let's say, week 11, there's only a couple things in there. Week 10, you see less things, right? Week 1's a big one just because it's the first week. So I have one video here which is Photoshop playing. This is going to get your feet wet into Photoshop and just get you understanding what Photoshop is, some of the stuff that it can do, how things are organized, how you should lay out your workflow. Okay, so that's definitely the first video you want to watch. And then this is our first assignment, web button creation, week 1. It's going to take you some time to do, especially if you're new to Photoshop. It's doable. It's a very intro first assignment to Photoshop type thing. It's nothing going to be, awesome. It's just going to be web buttons. But you'll learn some stuff that'll apply later if you ever get into the web specialty. Here is your Dropbox. So when you turn your stuff in, you would put in, start going on web buttons, and then you would submit your Dropbox link right there. Introductory discussion forum is right here. You want to go into this and you want to introduce yourself, give a little bit of info about yourself to the class, and also respond to people in the class. Oops, I skipped one today. There's a web page button summary. Okay, so after you've done the web page button, you're going to come down to the button summary. And then you're going to post here and then answer these questions and then respond to up here as well. Okay. And there's the introductory discussion forum. Like I said, same thing. Post something about yourself and up here. And then these guys are important too. This is your week by week schedule. Let me just jump to my 1320 week by week schedule. This has your schedule listed out week by week. Okay, and this is kind of the master list to go by of what you should be doing, where you should be at in the class for each one. I have it listed inside of the first day handout. Where are we at? This weekly topics, but this doesn't have everything, and this is just kind of like a bullet point. This is the one you should use. This is the actual, where should I be in this class? What's due? What's, what do I need to turn in? So in here you'll see it says, let's go to week 1. Welcome to Photoshop, blah, blah, blah. Read through the first day handout and syllabus. Make sure you understand everything in the syllabus too. If you have questions, ask. Make sure you understand what you're doing in the class, any required materials, and so on. Watch the intro video. That's what you're watching right now. Introduce yourself. Discussion forum. There we go. Do the required reading from the weekly course outline. So if we just jump over to this thing, here is the reading and watching. So there's that. Here is this little link. Information, information, information. Read that. Not too long. And then here's the recommended chapters and books in the book. Now, I'm not going to require that you read these, but guess what? It's really going to help you out if you do read those. All right. If you don't get the exact book I said, then you can get some other book and just start to read some of the stuff. All right. You'll be surprised at how much stuff you gain just by doing that. Back to that. Create a Dropbox account. There we go. Watch the creating web page buttons. Okay. With all the videos, recommend you watch the video first and attempt to do it. You can follow the video if you like at that point. I recommend you watch all videos first, even if it's in a sped up fashion, that you kind of watch it just to get an idea of the process, and then watch it again and do a step-by-step. Take notes. It really helps to do as much interacting with the video as you can. And then you're going to zip it up and upload the web page buttons to your Dropbox, and then share that link with me. And then in the discussion forums, there is a web page button summary. Make sure you reply to that. And then also, you're going to have, oops, of course I opened the wrong one. You're also going to have a tutorial link that you'll have to submit also into the discussion board in week 1. Okay, and that's your first piece of homework that you have, your skill builder. All right, and then going to week 2, Not that we want to jump ahead, but just so you can see, it does get less and less. The first week, like I said, is pretty hectic. Do the required readings and materials from the course outline first day handout. Watch the photo retouch video. Upload your final PSD. In the discussion forums, do this. And then complete the drawing skill builders exercise. Okay. So you want to make sure you look at that week by week schedule. Here's also a rubric. Okay. If I go to my rubric, here's our web page button, and turning in looks like tutorial. You're going to turn in 1 PSD and 6 ping images. You're going to create your own design, 1 PSD, 6 ping images. Within each PSD, guides, layers, layer comp, visually appealing, use effects. Here's the points. It's worth 4 points. Here's the points you can get. Beautiful. Okay. So every assignment has that rubric attached to it, so you can see exactly, what's required of that assignment. Okay, in a broad sense. All right, that's that. Okay, and then let's go back to here. Here's a tutorial link, so that's where you'll post your tutorial link. Then here's these skill builder worksheets. Homework sheets. There we go, skill builders. So these guys here, this is something new that I created this semester. And basically, it gives you things that are going to help you in your pursuit of understanding and drawing and learning and all the stuff that we're doing. Okay. Basically, stuff that I see students are lacking, that I think that you should just do these things on a daily, weekly, often basis, just so that you become a better learner. All right. So number 1, tutorial link in Angel. I look at tutorials every single day. I watch videos in Photoshop and 3D and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I think it's important. So your first one's, turning in that tutorial. Number 2, drawing circles worksheet. I'm going to scroll down. Here's the instructions for the Angel tutorial. And then here's the drawing worksheet, and then here's the circle one, drawing circles. And basically you're just drawing a bunch of circles all over a piece of paper. And it just gets your hand used to kind of drawing those round shapes. And you'll be surprised that the first circles you draw may not be perfectly circular circles, but by the time you're done drawing them on that piece of paper, you're pretty close. Okay, so that's your drawing exercise. Now, I wouldn't say, do that every single day, but it definitely would help your drawing if you did that at least once a week. And it's a great exercise to be able to do like while you're watching TV. You just kind of throw that on and let it go. Then there's one for drawing lines, parallel, perpendicular, and tangent lines. A face tracing worksheet, basic math worksheet. So these are just, like I said, things that I see that people, need some assistance with. Here's some basic math. Try to do all this stuff in your head as much as you can. Some of these you're not going to be able to do in your head, but if you think about them, you can kind of get closer to it. All right, some degrees, reading a tape measure. Might sound stupid to some of you, but I'm sure some of you probably haven't read a tape measure in years. Unit conversion, and some programming stuff. Okay. The programming one's going to come out of there. Let's take that out. All right, so there's a skill builder worksheet, and that's week 1. All right, now like I said, it's a lot week 1, but it becomes less each week as far as how many things are in there. All right, see, there's that. Okay, here's the communicate tab. So here's where you could email me if you needed to email me. Here's the discussion forums if you need to see the discussion forums. Here's reports if you're running reports and you don't have the manage tab. Okay, so that's essentially the kind of workflow for going through Angel. It's going to seem like a lot. It's going to be a little bit confusing at first, but as long as you apply yourself, you'll be able to handle this workload. Okay, it seems like a lot, like I said, but it's not a big deal. Just as a kind of side note, here's some stuff like in Photoshop that you can do. We go to, that's not the web page I wanted. There we go. So here's like a photo retouching tutorial. Here is 9 easy ways to create a powerful and emotional effect in Photoshop, creating an amazing fairy tale composite from any baby photo, watercolor in Photoshop, lots of cool stuff. Okay, you can see all the different things, drawing inside Photoshop. It's not just editing photos in Photoshop, and a lot of people think that it is, and it's not. It's a lot more than just that. Here's this drawing that's been done inside Photoshop. And one of our drawings that we're going to do, so it's something like that, not with the thing. It's not an iPod, iPhone. There we go. So we're going to draw this in Photoshop. Okay. And typically, you follow the steps. 90% of the students nail it. Perfect. That looks like a picture of an iPhone, but it's a drawing of an iPhone. Okay. So there's a lot of stuff that we'll be able to do inside here, and you really got to just take the time and just understand all of these different techniques and just kind of build upon them, because you'll be amazed at all the stuff you'll be able to create. And Photoshop, like I said, it's a foundational skill. It's one of those things where, if you learn it good, you can start making some money off of it pretty quick. And then that'll just help you when you get into some of the later MACA classes, if you continue in the MACA area. Okay, so that's our course. Go ahead and read through the first day handout, that course syllabus, make sure you understand it. Go into that week 1 folder, install Photoshop obviously, and then you can start watching the Photoshop playing video, and then start on that web page button video. Okay, any questions, let me know. That's what I'm here for. Don't be afraid, don't be shy. It's the only way you're going to learn, and it's the only way I'm going to learn that you have issues and questions. So good luck. I look forward to seeing you in the class.